and it was Pepe's coming out party. You remember when we did the Pepe transfer and we saw all the logos and pictures and it said Pepe is here. He weren't really here, not yet anyway. But last night, yes, you can get the banners out that says Pepe is here because he's here. What a game from Pepe. First of all, let's talk about the way the team was. Now, we all have been saying that we're enjoying this B team in the Europa because they're giving you a lot more fluidity and balance. But I tell you what's funny about this, and this is ironic, isn't it? Okay, so Turney, I give him that for getting turned on the first goal, and it was a good move by the striker as well. You can't really fault Turney for that. I know everybody said, yeah, it was Turney's fault. Well, the guy put a move on you. What are you going to do? It's like you can't be blaming everybody that Messi dribbles past because it's Messi. And it was what it was, really. It was a good play. It was a good goal. And Victoria looked really different. They were really coming at us like they had nothing to lose. But here's the deal with me right now. Maitland-Niles has lost his position in the first team. And if you don't know how or why, last night was a clear indicator of why he lost his position to Chambers. The lack of just understanding and vision about where you're supposed to be, your lack of first touch, your positioning, it just looks poor. I mean, there were signs last season where I thought he was really improving, and in Wenger's last year, and now he just doesn't seem to be progressing. Not when you look at other players like Bukayo Sako, Reece Nelson, although one can argue Reece Nelson has kind of hit a brick wall at the moment, but all those players are progressing. The only one that's not really playing well of late is Willock. But Willock has had some fantastic games this season, and maybe he's just going through a patch. Players do. But Maitland-Niles just looks like he's just lost. He just looks like he's gone. His heavy touch is what gave away the second goal, and he just looked like he wasn't interested in terms of tracking any runners. There are shots of him, multiple shots of him just standing up jogging while his marker is just sprinted off into our box. Open, wide open. And that's Maitland-Niles' man, and he's not even picked him up. And he's not even defensively thought about picking him up. If he wants to play in midfield, he's got no chance. No chance at all. Because he's got no awareness with what's going on around him, and he just looks disinterested. And unfortunately, that is going to blow him by the wayside, because there are guys, and I mentioned Burton, the under-21 captain. I mentioned there are guys coming up through the ranks that are just going to roll him over. And I'm sorry to say, he doesn't look like he's got a future at Arsenal, and that's it, really, from Maitland-Niles. And I was a big supporter of his, as I am with most of the youth players. And I feel really disappointed in his performances. But I was also a big supporter of Pepe. You heard me roll out my Pepe video where I said this guy will come along. I looked at his statistics and showed you that even though he wasn't scoring, he was still leading the Gunners in 3 or 4 categories. So he was doing his part creatively. The balls just weren't going in the back of the net. But what we saw last night was indicative of his set pieces, which is just stunning. We already know from his stats that he's one of the most accurate penalty takers in Europe. So from a perspective of him as a spot kick taker, that the guy is a dead eye for goal. And I even in matchday commentary, I even mentioned, I wish this guy would get a shot on target, because the way how he whips the ball is just stupendous. It's a lovely touch. I haven't seen anybody whip it like that since Van Persie. But the sheer trickery of the first goal, where he gambles on the goalkeeper taking a step the other way, and then he timely hits it where the goalkeeper's kind of caught off-footed, was brilliant. And then the second goal was, it was right in the top corner, unsavable. You actually look at the goalie dives, but the goalie ends up middle lane, doesn't he, as he's diving. There's no way he's getting up there with the pace that was on the ball. Pepe, in just the space of 10 minutes, from the 80th minute onwards, 2 sublime, world-class quality free kicks. Give it to the man. Give it to him. Proper delivery. Mailman delivery. Yeah? That's what I love about them free kicks. And he bailed the team out last night because they didn't really perform. Kieran Tierney again on the Martinelli. What a cross. I mean, I ain't seen our wing backs deliver a cross like that for a long time. And I know Klasnach is a quality crosser of the ball. But in saying that, very few have been from those positions. And to see the way he whips it and curls it so it's going away from the goalkeeper as it's going into the penalty right onto Martinelli's head. And how about Martinelli with a yet another headed goal to go against the one that he had previously? This guy, Martinelli, can do anything in the box. He's two-footed, he can go either side, he's powerful with his head, and this is why people are comparing him to Ronaldo, because there isn't anything as an 18-year-old that he's showing he can't do. You know, we can say certain strikers were weak with their head or weak with their left foot or what. Martinelli's got it all. Look, I'm so invested in these kids, so invested in these kids. And I just hope that they will continue to push through the first team and earn the minutes that they're earning. But what it does, and this is important, what it does is it also creates a gap in this kind of League Cup team and Europa team, because we didn't play Sacco, but there's a few players that, and again, we have to talk about Sacco because Sacco was the main driving engine in all of that Europa success, which is why he ended up in the first team. But you just can't play him in every game. The man just turned 18 and you're going to burn him out if you keep doing that. But because that spark had gone and wasn't there, the team looked really flat-footed in the midfield. And I have to bring up my man Torreira. Emery is ruining Torreira, ruining him. He's turned into a bit part player in the reserve team, and that's just a real shame. This is a guy who dominated Spurs last season, dominated Liverpool last season, just dominated in that 22 unbeaten game run, and he can't get a game in the team. And not just can he not get a game in a team along with Ozil, but it's not like the midfield is on fire in the first team. It's not like the midfield is so progressively good that these guys can't get in. The midfield is average at best, and they're carrying Xhaka, and they're leaving the back four so exposed, and they're not creating enough for the strikers, for the front three. So how can we be like that in the Premiership, game after game after game after game, and you're not giving the likes of Torreira a start or Ozil a start? You're not even, Emery's not even trying to mix it up to find something that works. He's just going with the same old tired formula and getting the same old tired results in the Premiership. And yes, it wasn't a great game yesterday, and if this was against Palace, they would have tore us up. You know, if this was against Palace at the Emirates, they would have tore us up. And I'm really concerned about where we are with Emery just not doing anything different from this midfield formula that's failing the team. And you know, we're blaming the defence and we're saying the strikers are not scoring enough, but it really is down to the midfield. So listen, I'm a bit concerned and worried where that will go. And I'm concerned that Emery has the inability to not really fix what's not working at the moment. The fact that he's left Torreira out and he's not even put Ozil on the bench tells me that he's completely shut off from the problem. And I don't expect him to fix it. I expect things to get worse until he realizes the importance of fixing what needs to be fixed in the midfield. Until we see changes there, I'm expecting poor performances. And that's just how it is. But I want to big up Pepe last night for just turning it on and just arriving at the Emirates. Such a good player. And as I said, that Sheffield game, in my player ratings, I gave him a solid 7 because I thought he played well. The only thing he didn't do was put away that tap in. He could have had an assist on the Aubameyang cross, and his touches and the way he broke forward and his progressive forward play was fantastic against Sheffield, and it followed through last night against Victoria. So listen, big up to you, Pepe, man, and well done for the win, guys. You know, another good 90 minutes from Rob Holding. and another decent performance from Bellerin. And I just think it's going to take those guys a little bit of time before they can be integrated. He's clearly not ready for them to face the torment and the guile of the Premiership at the moment for those two players. So I wouldn't really expect to see them start until mid-November or December. That's the decision that the team has taken, so it must be for a reason. It's as simple as that. You can't keep beating a dead horse with Klasnach and Socrates and Xhaka and all the players that are not delivering in the first team, and there's a lot of them. You can't really say that we should shoehorn these guys in when they're not physically ready. Kieran Tierney, again, I don't know where that is. He's put through another 90 minutes now, so it's 3 90 minutes off the back. And is he ready? He sure looks ready. Maybe the manager feels like he's another 90 minutes away. But listen, let's just hope that Unai Emery can change this and embrace a new type of outlook on the first team, because his current first team is not working, and we need to see something change. If nothing changes with the result, and we need the result to change right now. So listen, I'm going to leave it right there, guys. And yeah, big up to you guys in the forum. It was a fun game thread last night on 101 on Arsenal Facebook, so it was quite fun. And listen, looking forward to Crystal Palace. I am not holding out for a win, actually. I think for the first time I'm actually going to go for a draw. I'm always going for wins because I love my team, I back my team. I just don't have any faith in the way that Emery is conducting his tactics or his starting 11 at the moment, and it's just going to get him into trouble, and I'm no longer going to be blind to that. So I'm hoping for a win on Sunday. I'll be there at the Emirates, but I think that right now this team is punching under its weight. I think with another manager we would probably be able to do more, and that all starts from the head coach. But I have said from day one, I'll back the coach and back the manager until the end of the season and judge him then. But at the moment, I would be surprised if this team gets into the top 4. Right back at you, back your team, and speak to you in the next one. Peace!